Hi, this is Susie Oliver with Tulsa Community College. Today we're going to go through Program 7. We're doing a review of it, which means we're going to go through it in its entirety. We're going to start at the beginning and do the entire program. Alright, I'm already in Blackboard and I've got the documents showing up here. You can click on them, download them. I've already done that. Here's the instructions. We're doing sub-sandwich functions. For this assignment, you'll create a program that will determine the number of servings and the cost per serving for a giant sub-sandwich that you'll be ordering for a Super Bowl party with your friends. The idea is that you'll cut up the sandwich in advance of the party into 4-inch servings, and you'll immediately eat the extra few inches that might be left over to make sure it tastes good. Yum. You will write and call 2 functions. Be sure to read any hints below and see the extra credit section for more info. And then all the usual stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this while we're there. New project. And I'm gonna call it last name, first name, Program07, Program07, sub sandwich. And then right click, new Python file. Okay, I'm going to paste. And fill in all these values. I don't care if you have the exact date in there. Make my main and all that. Def main. Okay, so you should always have okay, create and call the function name main. We've already done that just then. Within main, greet the user with a short description of the program, such as welcome to sub-sandwich calculator, and get that working before moving on. Okay, by get it working before moving on, I mean run it, make sure it works. Run. Okay, that works. Might be a good idea to say, let's put an exclamation point there. Okay, I'm going to also put that and that just to set it off. Okay, set a constant variable called serving length to integer 4. Put this above the function definitions and below your required block of comments. Try not to catch that last thing there. I'm going to back off on it by 1, because if you get any hidden characters or anything that's going to happen there. Copying from a Word document, especially from a PDF document, is a little bit dangerous because you can get hidden characters in there. Okay, now it said put this above all of your functions. And then main or PyCharm likes 2 blank lines in between functions. Okay, tell the user what the program does, and use serving length instead of hard coding the 4 here. Okay, I'm going to use an F string. I'm going to go ahead and split this into 2 pieces. Actually, I don't need an F string on the first one. And I need to change that for, I need curly braces, and then I need serving length. That. Okay, that should do that. Let's run that, make sure that works. That's what happened down there. That wrapped around. I'm going to put an extra line in there too. Okay. Alright, so notice we got 4" there, that looks good. Okay, we're done with number 4. Within main, ask the user for the length in inches of the sandwich. This will be a counting number, which means an integer greater than 0, but you'll accept 0 as a stopping condition in a later step. Assign that to sandwich length. Ask the user for the total cost of the sandwich and assign that to sandwich cost. Okay, so we want to ask for something like that. And we're going to get sandwich length. Okay, so I'm going to say get user input sandwich length equal, and remember to turn it into an integer. Input okay, I always like to end when I'm asking a user for something. I like to end it with a colon and a space. That just kind of begs somebody to answer. Don't, when you're dealing with something that's in dollars and cents, don't put a $ out there. The cost, and that's supposed to be sandwich cost. Sandwich length and sandwich cost. Whoops, I didn't name it the what. I was using a camel case here. Now notice there's a squiggly. PyCharm doesn't like camel case. Now this is supposed to be a float because it's in dollars and cents. Okay, now notice I'm not putting a $ out here on this input stuff. When you're outputting it, yes, but not when you're getting input. Create a function named num_servings with an integer parameter for the length in inches that will return the number of servings as an integer. Each serving length inches of the sandwich is considered a serving. Servings should be a whole number, so you'll need to do an integer or floor divide. Num_servings, okay. So to create a function, you go above main. It is possible to create a function inside of main. That's not a good programming practice. So go above it. And then you need to give it a parameter name. You can call it the same thing. You can call it sandwich length if you want to. Or you could just call it length. Or you could call it init sandwich length. Okay. A lot of people do that in C++, put the word init in front of it. And we need to return the number of servings. And it's just a simple divide. The sandwich length, so init sandwich length divided by, now that division will return a floating point. That division will return an integer, and it does floor division. If you're just dealing with positive numbers, it's the same thing as truncating. It's not really truncating because for negatives it's a little different. It rounds down, which is different than truncating. Divide by serving lengths. Now, I've seen people put int in front of this. Don't do that. You don't need to do that, because this division will give you an int. I forgot my colon. And again, these squiggles are because I'm using camel case instead of underscores. Call this function from within main. Have a variable like my num servings assigned to the value. So do something like that. Let's say do calculations. For right now, let's just print my num servings just to see if it's working. We'll get rid of that line in a minute. Okay, let's see what we're using. 46 and 40. Now on the input you don't have to put 0.00, but you should put it at least once to make sure it's working right. Okay, so it's doing 11. Yeah, that sounds about right. So it's got 46 divided by 40 is 44 would be 11, and then we got 2 left over. Okay, that looks right. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. And we're ready for our next step. Then create a function named cost per serving. This function has a float parameter for the cost of the giant sub and an integer parameter for the number of servings. So we're going to pass it cost and number of servings. It will return the cost per serving in dollars as a float. You'll need to do a float divide with a single slash. Okay, so we need to make another function. Called cost per serving. Sandwich cost. And num servings. This time I'm going to remember my colon. And I'm going to return the cost divided by num servings, and this time it's going to be a single slash. And then call cost per serving from within main and set another variable like my cost per serving to the value returned that looks a lot like the one above, except you'll pass that function 2 arguments, the cost of the sub and my num servings separated by a comma. And then I need to send it the sandwich cost. And notice how it's putting up here the parameters that we used before to remind you what goes there. I've seen several people try to put num servings here and put it in the function. if you already did that there, you don't need to do it here. Make sure your two function definitions are not inside main. All def statements should line up on the margin. I would put the two function definitions above main, but they could be below it, so we've already done that. Okay, then within main, print the length of the sandwich, the cost per sandwich, with a $sign and 2 digits after the decimal point. Number of servings, cost per serving, with a $1 and 2 digits after the decimal point, using this format. I'm going to have an F statement. Okay, now I'm going to replace all those numbers with their variables. Okay, that was sandwich length. And that was sandwich cost. And we need to tell it to do 2 decimals after, and 2 digits after the decimal. So we need to say 0.2F. And this is the number of servings, minus servings. And then we need our costs per serving. And again, that needs to be 0.2F. Notice on the integers, you really don't need to put any kind of formatting after them. Okay, that runs a little bit over this line. That's 80 characters. That'll be all right. Okay, let's run that. 46-inch sub that costs $40 yields 11 servings at $3.64 per serving. All of it's formatted right. Okay, after you get that working, it would really be a good idea to stop at this point and copy your program in case we totally mess up. So I would go and I right click to there, and I'm going to say Show in Explorer. And I'm going to make a copy of this. Oops, where did it go? There it is. I'm going to copy the whole folder. And then I'm going to end it with V01 for version 1. Okay, so I've got a backup in case we totally mess up. Now we need to put all the code that's in main in a while loop, except we don't need the greeting in there. Okay, so the loop itself will be inside main as well. The loop will allow the user to enter information for another sub-sandwich and another and another. If they want to run again, data is requested and everything, including print statements, process again. Remember to use the design pattern for reading in a loop. Following is in pseudocode, so you'll have to convert it to Python. So basically you do a read, and then you say while not ending condition, and then you do your processing, and then you read again. This statement and this statement are generally identical. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. You'll have your sandwich length equal int input, etc. Then you'll say while sandwich length greater than 0, and then you put all the code you had here before except for the input line that you leave that input line out. And then you copy that input line down here at the bottom of the while loop. Make sure it's still indented like everything else. Okay, so I don't need all this welcoming stuff. I probably should make that a, say, print welcome and introduction. We don't want to put that in the while loop. We do want to put that one in it though. We have our while loop there, all of that. I'm going to highlight and I'm going to press the tab and it's going to indent everything. Now I want to copy this line, Control C, come down here, and then I copy it there again. Now, I need to change this though to say 0 to quit. should have done that before I copied it. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so that works. It would be a good idea if we make a blank line there. I'm gonna say do that. Let me try this again. Oh, very nice. And then we want to do 46 and 40, 36 and 31, 50, and then 0. 36, 31, 50, and then that gives me 9 servings at 350. 9 servings at 350, and then let's enter 0, and it quits, and we're done.